Okay, so I'm out here today doing some maintenance on my tools and getting a lot of stuff ready for a production run. Now, uh, I've got some wear and tear on this particular tool for my 3/8 copper bit. Okay, and I've got it set up here in a vise and kind of rigged it up to get it drilled. This used to be a hole for a 1/4 inch, but I drilled it off center and never used it. Now on the other side, down here, I've got the 3/8 hole that has become too large, and the bit is now loose in the holder, so I can't use it anymore on that end, but I can use this end. So I've set this up to drill on my drill press. I've had this for quite some time, as you can tell, and be sure to dislike the video because of the rust. And let's see here, I've got the vise set up, and it's hard to clamp to this little table, so I put a piece of wood underneath just in case you're curious, so I can do this clamp. And I have another clamp here I also use. Again, feel free to dislike the video because of all the rust. And one more clamp. Half of my tools are outside in the elements at all times. I don't have a ventilated shop, and I'm on a shoestring budget. So, anyway, what I do is I put a little piece of tape here. Most of the time I just eyeball this, but I just wanted to show you guys a better method. I don't drill it all the way down in. I leave a little sticking out. Now the bit is pointed somewhat, so you can't measure, to the tip of the point. You got to measure to the side here, as far as what you're going to get for depth, if you know what I mean. So it looks like, at first glance, it might look like only a tiny bit will stick out, but there'll be more than that sticking out. I think you'll see. Alright, so let's turn this thing on here. See if I'm zoomed out. Now just a little test to see if I'm on center. Looks okay. And I just eyeball this. I know that there's probably tools that you can buy that'll allow you to scratch a mark or write a mark on here in the center, and then you turn the tool and then mark another line, and it makes a cross, and where it crosses is the exact center. I need to get myself one of those, but for now I'm just going to eyeball it, and that looks pretty much center. Okay, so I'll continue. Okay, so I think I did go to the level of the tape, although it was kind of hard for me to see the exact spot, but it doesn't have to be exact. Anyway, not very high-tech, and that's one reason why I don't offer to sell these tools. I'll make some on occasion, but basically how I do it. And I drill slowly, and with a brand new bit. This is a brand new bit out of this case. And I try to get high quality drill bits. Okay, because it's extremely important. If I hadn't mentioned it before, it is extremely important to have no looseness or no play at all in these bits when you're knapping. If there's any play or any looseness whatsoever, you're going to have a completely different result, and a result you won't like. So make sure that your drilling is extremely careful. Try to get it as close to center as possible, and make sure the bits are new and sharp, and you should be alright. Okay, that's it. Okay, just to show you that it did work, and trying to hold the camera at the same time here. Here is the bit. It's sticking out a little bit more than I would like, but it's fine. That's probably the maximum that I would want it to stick out. Let's see. It looks like about 3/8. 3/8 for a 3/8 bit. Sounds about right. Okay, and to extract, you know, when it starts to go down wear down, and it's too close to the handle, I pull it out with these. These are snips. And what I've done is I've ground this flat previously to make it a bit sharper, and I made a mistake one time and tried to cut something I shouldn't have and made a dent, but that works to my favor now, so I keep these for pulling these bits out. Okay, with one hand it's not that easy, but you got the idea. I pull that out when it gets too short, and then I cut off a little piece of maybe a 1/4 inch rod, drop it down in, put this bit back down in, tap it down so it's seated all the way, and then I'm good to go. Okay, I don't put in set screws on the sides. I don't ever do that because they get too much splitting. Well, I don't get too much. Sometimes it'll split, not all the time. Sometimes it will. I usually get splitting up here rather than on a set screw. But the main reason is I put so much force on these sometimes that it'll strip out, and the set screw won't hold it. It'll end up going down into the material, into the handle, and I'll lose it. I'll have to cut some of this handle off at the top and then try to get, dig this out. And after I cut some of the top off, the set screw is too close to the end, and blah blah blah. So I never use set screws. I just insert a piece of smaller diameter rod down in there, pound it in to seat it, and it raises it as I need to. And when it starts getting too short, it'll get wobbly, and I'll just take that out and put in a brand new piece. Okay, there you go. Okay, I just remembered as I was doing this next one, some of you asked how deep should that channel be for the bit. So just to give you an idea here, it's very close to 1.5 inches. Oops. Yeah. I think before I recommended at least 1.5 inches for the 3/8 inch bit. You can go as shallow as 1 inch for the smaller diameters, and it'd be okay. But I think 1.5 inches is pretty standard for mine. As far as depth, sometimes I'll go deeper, because then it'll last longer. You have a larger piece, you'll be able to use it for a longer period of time. Okay, that's it. Okay, just a quick view of my other setup for the smaller diameter handles or rods. This is the 1 inch, And I'll use the same setup for the 3/4 inch. And the reason why I don't use this setup for the larger rod is because the large rod won't fit in this channel here. It will not pass through this clamp. Oops, sorry. This rod will pass through this channel here in this clamp, but the larger diameter rods, I think above 1 1/4 inch, well, no, maybe it's 1 1/8 inch, it won't pass through. Anyway, this is my setup for the smaller diameter rods. Just a C-clamp and this clamp here. Okay.